Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of A-Listers. You guys know, obviously this was scheduled for yesterday, but because Liverpool decided to play the same team twice in a period of 3 hours, we could not do this yesterday. So we're here now. You get me? So big up to all of you guys. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. There's already 400 people in the building. We should be on 300 likes ASAP. Big up to all of you guys. Slap the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Joining me first and foremost, absolutely celebrating this new Sesko signing. He told me in the background he thinks he's going to score 35 Premier League goals and win the Golden Boot. Man, like
this is crazy. That is crazy. We're starting to lie on my name now. At the beginning of the stream or something. That's crazy. But big up to everyone. I did not say that. Just want to let everybody know I did not say Sesko will score 35 goals. In this next upcoming Premier League season. Just completely opposite conversation that we were having, but glad to be here. Big up to everyone. Make sure you guys are running up the like, subscribing, of course. And yeah, we'll talk more about this whole Sesko deal. Main thing is that Newcastle got rejected, or looks like they're going to get rejected once again. Again, there's getting rejected left and right, man. It's crazy. It's like Ryan in that 16 out of 10 clip. That's crazy, man. That is what it is.
It's like who?
Ryan in that 16 out of 10 clip.
By the way, can I just say the two girls below us are looking 16 out of 10s today, both of them.
That's to be the worst clip in history. But then actually, I always think, is that worse or is this worse?
This is the Argentinian Harry Winks, like Jesus. I know it might be too early to say it, but you know what? I'm just going
you found the quality
in the chat. You want him sold? Is that the case? Did you say?
Nah, I just said send him back to Brighton as a joke, innit?
Oh, okay, all right, fair.
Crazy.
Sorry, Macca. I'd never say that to you, Macca. Sorry. You know I loved you forever. It ain't ever gonna change. We all love Alexis McAllister around here. You get me? Big up, Macca. Anyway, speaking of someone we all love, this guy, I have to call him out. This guy is the clutchest person ever. I can message him like 2-3 hours before a show and he's there like immediately. This guy is a legend and he has saved our asses this summer. He's so clutch. You get me? Legend. Replacing Sulz is Sulz. I think Sulz.
I'm good and I can verify Shik did say 45 goals actually, not 35.
That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy.
So he said Gyökeres, who, Sesko's the guy, so yeah, I can verify that as well.
And Sulz said Havertz would score more goals than Gyökeres next season. That's what he said.
I verify I have said that. I don't hide from my claims.
That's what he said.
But hey, I've got them both. I can enjoy both. I've got Havertz and I've got my Gyökeres, so I'm all good.
True. Fair enough.
Hey, big up. Anyway, listen, the rest of the guys are on the way. See, Ali, I didn't lie. I told you that they're not here. It's not me. Told you, Ali. See, you thought I was lying. I ain't lying. You get me? None of them are here. It's just us three. But here we go. We're starting. I don't know where the hell Vator is. Jacob has an electricity cut. I don't know when he's joining. And Lewis is going to be here in 4 minutes, according to him. So yeah, welcome to A-Listers. Like and subscribe. You get me? So big up to all of you guys, man. And yeah, like I said, look, 600 people are in the building. Likes up and subscribe to all these guys' channels as well. It's in the description. And let's just get this party started. And we have to start by talking about Mr. Benjamin Sesko. According to reports, Habibi Shik, he is headed to your club. What do you make of the whole situation currently as things stand?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start off with this. Like, I have said this before. I've made fun of Arsenal fans. I've talked to Egal on this same show before in the past when they were linked with Sesko. And I said I would, like, if I'm in their situation, I'd rather want Gyökeres over Sesko as a player. And I can't sit here and say that I'm all of a sudden a fan of Sesko as well just because we're linked with him. My thoughts remain the same. I still think he's a decent player, good goal scorer. I still think he has a lot to prove. Obviously, coming to a league like the Premier League where you're going up against much better opposition, he still has a lot to prove. There's that whole potential thing about him, this and that, and he's going to be playing with better players with like Mbeumo and Cunha around him too. I just think currently our situation is, if we are spending, first of all, I think we are spending a lot of money on a player like him. I think the situation that we're in, we're not trying to make a push to, get to top 4. I don't think we can get top 4. I don't think we can, be of a certain. We're playing one game a week. I get that, but I don't think we're going to massively improve like crazy because of my thoughts on the manager as well. But getting a player like Sesko and paying that much money for him, I think we should be trying to focus on other positions. And I've said this before, our midfield is a very, very big problem. I think there are alternatives that you can look to in all these different positions, including the midfield, including striker as well. I just don't think currently the situation that we're in, we should be spending that much money. Also, really funny how people said, or our club actually made it kind of like this narrative that we are a sell to buy situation currently, like we're in a sell to buy situation. We're not. We've already put up an 85 million proposal to Leipzig for Sesko just literally today that we put in a bid. So Newcastle, I don't know what's up with them. They're getting rejected. I just said this earlier too. They're getting rejected left and right by damn near every single player. We put in less money than Newcastle. And the last reports that I heard was that we won't put in a bid until we're like very, very confident that Sesko will join us and he like is going to favor us. And we've put in a bid today. So maybe the reports of we've already agreed something with him. There's a quote unquote special club thing that Leipzig were talking about, that there's some sort of agreement with like special clubs and that we're part of that. So if that is a thing, then hey, listen, if even though I don't rate him and I'm not like, we should bring in Sesko, I think we can try to get someone like a Watkins. We can try to get other alternatives. I just think if he does join our club, I will back him. He's going to be our striker. He's better than Rasmus Højlund.
The problem is, can I tell you one thing, just slight thing? Here's the issue with what's been reported today. It's a little bit confusing because they said
it is confusing.
Newcastle won't bid for Sesko without encouragement from his personal camp. It comes out, according to Ben Jacobs, that apparently Sesko has agreed terms with both clubs. Like that's the thing for me. Right. So just to clarify from Shik's perspective, just hold on there, just quickly. Just from Shik's perspective, are you completely ruling out the idea that he could join Newcastle?
No, I'm not completely ruling it out. I
give
still
me
think
percentages.
I would say 60 us, 40 Newcastle.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'd say 60 us, 40 Newcastle. This is the thing. There's a lot of like different information going on. First of all, Fabrizio and Ornstein are reporting two different things. Fabrizio said they dropped in an improved offer of 90 million. Ornstein hasn't tweeted that. He said it's only gone up to 80 million. So I don't know what even the price really is, whether we've actually, bid in less or what Newcastle or not Newcastle or Leipzig are evaluating him at. But according to Fabrizio, they put in a 90 million offer. And then according to Ornstein today, we put in 75 million plus 10 in add-ons, which is technically less. Yes, 5 million less. But I don't know. There's a lot of like different information going on. Again, there were also reports that we wouldn't bid until Sesko gives us a green light, or we're very confident that Sesko would want to join United. But we bid today, which it's probably telling me that he's going to join and there's been some sort of agreement already. And it's just a matter of time. But I'm not ruling it out. I still think he could pick Newcastle. It looks like they're willing to pay more money or match our offer or whatever the valuation is. In terms of the project, I don't have to tell you anything at all. They're playing Champions League. They're probably getting rid of Isak to Liverpool, let's be honest. So they need a striker, and he will start there right away. It's not a question in doubt. But he would start for us right away too. But yeah, like for me, the main thing is it's not really much against Sesko. It's more so against how we're trying to utilize the rest of our transfer window. We're paying about 70 million pounds for a striker who I still think has a lot to prove currently at this moment. We're better off trying to get someone like a Mateta and a Watkins who will both guarantee goals. They will get us goals, and that's what we need. I think I've said this before. I think Sesko low key is Rasmus Højlund 2.0 happening at our club yet again.
God,
it is. I'm not going to lie. I think it is Rasmus Højlund 2.0 happening at our club yet again, because we're relying on a young striker to try to carry our attack yet again, to try to score goals when chances do drop to him yet again. And we've done that. And we still have some other players like Xerxes, all these type of things. So I'm just saying, like, I think it's Rasmus Højlund 2.0. I've been saying this, and It screams that, bro. It screams that. So hey, it is what it is. We'll see. He's
Can-
going to
can
join our
I
club
give
though.
a different perspective, right? I'm not a United fan, but I do have a different perspective on this. So, number one, I do think the financials and what the journalists are kind of like reporting isn't exactly bullshit. I know it sounds contradictory to what reports are coming out, but what you got to understand, right, is the same situation happened at Arsenal when we were going in for him, and one of the key reasons why we kind of exited the negotiations is his camp are one of the most difficult and most senile people to deal with, in a sense of they don't really care what's best for their client. They care best what's going to come into their back pocket. And the issue that I kind of reason why I can give Newcastle a bit of an opportunity to come back in for this is if we're to hear the rumors of the finances of what the Isak deal is going to contain, something like £60 million has to be paid up front. Newcastle are better positioned financially to get the financial terms with the party agreed. Now, this isn't to do with transfer fees. This is going to be to do with the agent fees, any bonuses, any kind of like future projections for finances. Now, there's two ways to look at it from a Sesko's camp. Now, do you go with a team that's proven they can develop attackers in terms of what the Isak route was, and obviously other like Anthony Gordon, for example? You can say whether they contributed to, Newcastle developing these players or if they were just that good to begin with. Like Isak obviously went into stardom, like when he came to Newcastle. Sesko could be looking at that if he wants a sporting project. Now, where I can agree that he could be Erasmus 2.0, and I don't think that's on ability. I think that's because United's environment isn't there for a player to develop. And I'm not saying that in a negative way because they could prove me wrong on this, but we've not seen it. We're not seeing like young players really nurture because of the kind of turnover in management, the turnover in the environment. Obviously, we've seen new owners coming in. It's not a stable environment yet where a youngster can come in and go, okay, let me hone in my skills. Now, Newcastle seems to be a bit more stable. Granted, they're getting rejected left, right, and centre, but Eddie Howe's proven to be a very good coach. Amorim, you can look at the Victor Gyökeres, for example. You can look at other players like Trincao.
Where would you advise him to go, and tell me why?
If I'm looking at track record,
if you're like his friend and he's gonna listen to you, what would you tell him?
This isn't a biased advice. My advice would be to go to Newcastle for one reason. There's more stability at that club at the moment. I know at the moment that project looks like it's falling down, but I do think the rejuvenation of that project comes to a Benjamin Sesko coming in. Now, he may not be the best player on the market. He may not be this, superstar or whatever, but it's the excitement of the potential. And I feel like that could improve their sort of ability to keep a Bruno Guimaraes, to keep an Anthony Gordon, to keep an Anthony Elanga even, who's recently joined, and to get their project back on track. That's my advice anyway. And I guess it kind of comes down to, where do you see the upside? Do you see United coming back to where they used to be? Because if United can get close to where they used to be, that's a way better proposition in the future to join, because that is guaranteeing your Champions League, that's guaranteeing your Premier League. Whereas Newcastle, we're unsure because they're also in this financial dark hole at the moment of where is this project going? Because if Isak leaves, it looks like Bruno Guimaraes wants to leave. It looks like other players of that caliber may exit as well. What's the guarantee they stay? Whereas when you look at the United project at the moment, you've got Brian Mbeumo who joined, Cunha who's joined. There's rumors, and I don't know how true they are, but Donnarumma coming in. There's rumors.
Donnarumma ain't gonna leave PSG to join Man United.
I'm just saying there's rumors. I'm not saying he will.
I think that's, with all due respect, Manchester United are a much bigger club than PSG, but at this moment in time, that's a massive step down.
Yeah, they've just won the Champions League. He's not going to go to not.
Yeah, you're going like from the best team in Europe. You cannot do this.
No. I'm not saying it's true, by the way. At all.
I'm not saying it's true, but I'm just saying, like, when you're looking at the narratives around United, there still seems to be like an ambitious like drive to go and do things. So it's a difficult one to advise because you can look at it both ways. But my advice would be to lean towards Newcastle and maybe hear them out more.
Yeah, so look, ambitious drive will be there. I mean, of course, we finished 15th. They're trying to, turn things around, get Amorim, his players, even though I don't think any of these signings are quote unquote his players. Then that's a whole completely different conversation that we can have as well. That I think they're preparing for a future without Ruben Amorim, and that's why they're signing some of these quote unquote club signings, because they're not system players for Ruben Amorim. But with the whole Sesko thing, it's just, again, they've made it very, very clear they want to bring in a striker. they feel like there's an opportunity for them to get. They obviously rate him. They think there's potential with Sesko. I think not in terms of ability. I think he is better than Højlund. I just think it's the pressure. He's a young striker, just like how Højlund was, who had about double-digit goals in I think Serie A, and then in Bundesliga for Sesko respectively. But we're going to be putting a lot of pressure on him because you're going into a team that scored 44 Premier League goals last season. We're going to expect you to finish every single chance that you get because we've been watching Rasmus Højlund, and we already are probably going to think that you're better than him. I just think there's more focus in terms of there needs to be more focus in other positions.
And Mbembo already have improved. I don't think there's going to be that reliance. I feel the reason Højlund had to finish everything or had to score a high number of goals was to compensate for the Garnachos. Obviously, Diallo was in and out last season. Amazing season, by the way, but obviously was in and out due to Ten Hag not liking him and obviously picked up a bit of a knock and an injury. But I do feel like you've elevated your attack as a whole. And obviously Bruno's numbers, I feel like with the better attackers can improve as well. So does that not give you a bit more confidence that actually we can get someone in because he's not the only person? You've got Cunha and you've got Mbembo, who recorded some of the highest GA in the league last season. Do you not think that will translate and that'll help alleviate the pressure off of Sesko?
No, I want a striker. It's the issue isn't that I don't want an attacking player in the striker position. It's just I don't want Sesko. I think if we're going to pay that much money for a player, I can ask you all guys, a question. I don't know how much Baliba is going to cost, but if we're putting up around 70 million euros and we can add a little bit more, would we rather be better off getting someone like Baliba or someone like a Sesko currently in our team? Because I could ask you this. If Baliba is available, Brighton say he's available for, let's say, 80 million or 90 million. Would you rather spend this much money if you're United? You're United. Would you rather spend this much money on Baliba? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's why I just feel like that's what our currently with the amount of money that we have and all this conversation that we're selling to buy all of that type of stuff. I told you people we have money. It's not like we don't have money. Where does this money come from? We haven't sold anyone, to be honest, yet. We've just Garnacho just gets linked with Chelsea every single day, and there's nothing more than that. That's literally just where we are currently at this moment. But yeah, it's just if we're going to pay that much money, I just think we should be going out there and addressing the midfield because I think that's a much bigger concern for me in terms of there are strikers out there that we can go and get and pay a lot less for. You don't have to splash 70 million on them. I'd rather spend that much money on a midfielder. That's just me though. But
the thing is, first of all, big up to everyone locked in, guys. We have 1,000 people in here. We're not even at 500 likes yet though. So let's get the likes up, please. Every single one of you, please stop what you're doing right now. Close the live chat, hit the like button. Let's try to push to 500 likes because it helps the channel grow. I'm also 5 subscribers away from 57.2k. So subscribe from your mom phone, your dad phone, your family phone. Subscribe. Hamza subscribed from his family TV. You get me? So subscribe from everywhere. Let me just grab these super quickly because one of them is an interesting discussion, which we'll speak about in a second. JC, this is why you got blocked on Flawless channel. Hold that. Reminder, world champions and have won it all. See, there you are.
Chelsea.
That's why Flawless blocked you.
I Flawless block him.
Because he's a fraud? Why else?
All he did was state facts.
Big up to Zephy. This is the point. This is the point I wanted to discuss. First of all, thank you, Zephy, for the super chat. You sent both that I want to discuss and ask all the panel's opinion on it. People say Newcastle project is failing. They haven't lost any key players, maybe Wilson, and have brought in Elanga. Don't count them out. They're a good unit and can get top 6 easily without Sesko. Clarification, they will need a striker, but Sesko not necessary. Jackson can also get them top 6.
Here's the thing. Propaganda, man.
Okay, hear me out. Nicholas Jackson. This is why I agree with Zephy completely, and I want to get all of you guys' opinion on it. Hear me out. Nicholas Jackson, game week 8, game week 9, game week 10, people were saying he's more informed than Haaland. This was the conversations.
I remember.
Now I understand that his confidence went to the shits, and he stopped finishing simple chances and everything. I understand that. But from a Newcastle perspective, if you want to remain a sustainable top 5, top 6 side. Let's say top 5, right? Because 5th, you get Champions League, right? So let's say they finish 5th. Let's just be honest here. Let's say Sesko goes to Manchester United, but Newcastle sign Nicholas Jackson and Wissa. I
Nicholas
don't know if
Jackson
that's
and Whistle.
gunshots or fireworks. I'm gonna go figure that out now in a second.
No, brother.
Anyway, tell me, do you think Newcastle still get top 4? Let me just go look out the window as you guys answer.
Yeah,
So
I
was that
think
Jackson and Wissa.
Jackson and Wissa. Yeah.
They'll still be competitive because they still got the midfield. They got a decent goalkeeper and a decent backline, but they haven't really done too much improving. If anything, Isak to Jackson is a weakness, even though, like, I'd say stylistically they're a bit similar.
True.
So yeah, I'd have them in the race, but just not getting top 4 again or 5 or whatever it is.
Top 5 Champions League again next season.
It depends on
We'll
the
find out
coefficient per year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, actually, I'd say that too. I'd say they compete, but it's not guaranteed. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, why I think Newcastle have had a terrible window is just one, because they're getting rejected by almost every single player out there. And Buemo's rejected them. Ekitike's rejected them. Sesko, it looks like, is going to reject them. Then on top of that, they're about to lose their most valuable asset, which is Isak.
False alarm, fireworks. Anyway.
Yay!
Yeah.
Let's go.
Carry on. The thing is,
yeah.
I was listening to what Shik is saying. Here's why I rated Poch. Don't fight, Lewis, please. Because at Spurs, he made them a sustainable top 4 side. Newcastle right now need to finish top 4 and then top 4 and then top 4 again. That's how you become considered at least a Champions League club. That's how you can attract the likes of Mbuemo, attract the likes of Joao Pedro, all these players that rejected you, by being consistently in the Champions League. One off in the Champions League doesn't stop you, doesn't make you, more attractive than Manchester United. Manchester United are my biggest rival. I hate Manchester United. I hope that club get liquidated. But Manchester United, even now in 15th place, are more attractive than Newcastle. Just like when Leicester finished in the top 4, top 5, we were more attractive than them, even though we finished 5th, 6th. It's just, this is the food chain of football. And in order to include Newcastle in that upper echelon of football clubs, they need to consistently get top 4. That's the difference between an elite club and an okay club. Okay clubs can get top 4 every now and then. You get me? By the way, people don't know this. Everton finished top 4. Spurs finished top 4 under Harry Redknapp. How many examples can you go back in time and mention of clubs who have finished top 4 every now and then or once in a while? Leicester played Champions League football against Atletico Madrid. We all watched it. They were there. But that's why I actually agree with Zephy's point. Bro, you sell Isak, you go buy Jackson and Wissa. How does that stop you from getting Champions League football? Your wingers are, watch this, Ilanga, Harvey Barnes, Jacob Murphy, and who's the 4th guy we keep forgetting? They have a 4th winger.
Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon,
yes, there you go.
Yeah.
You have those 4 wingers. Bro, those like 6 forward options that you have, surely that's good enough to finish 5th. Like, I'm not asking them to win or anything, but finishing 5th, that's good enough to finish 5th. Because it ain't like, okay, let's say Newcastle lose all big 6 games home and away. Let's say 12 losses. The others, I expect Newcastle to be capable of beating all the rest of them. So why not? Why not? But more interestingly, United project, Shik.
Yeah.
Where United project going, Blood? Talk to me.
Our project.
Yes. Where is this project going?
I don't know what to tell you, bro. I think just to like kind of keep it a little bit brief, the hierarchy at our club, I think, are focusing a lot more on behind the scenes, talking about, you know, saving money, cutting jobs, all those type of things, trying to build a new stadium, all that type of stuff. I think there has been a lack of urgency for like on pitch issues like signings, getting rid of players, all that type of stuff. Our players have been linked with a lot of teams. I know it's been difficult to get rid of them because of the wages and personal terms and all that type of stuff, but we've only signed 2 players so far. After a year that we finished 15th, we splashed. Yes, we've paid about 130 million for both of them, but we still have a lot of players that we needed to get rid of. It's a big season for Ruben Amorim going into, you know, his 2nd year as well. After the abysmal year that we had before, we have a tough first 5 games. We play Arsenal, first game of the season. We have City after, I think like 2 or 3 games. We have City at the Etihad, and then Chelsea at Old Trafford back to back. So it's like a tough start. It could get really, really tough for Ruben Amorim quick. And then it's one of those type of things where like I don't think the club has, in terms of these signings, has made signings for Ruben Amorim specifically. So maybe we're going away from that whole thing of we have to get the certain specific profiles for this manager. I think, and part of me thinks actually that they're preparing for a future without Ruben Amorim. When they will make that decision, if they do need to sack him, I don't know, because they messed about with the decision for the previous one. They didn't sack Ten Hag when they needed to. But these Cunha and Buemo, Sesko, whichever midfielder, goalkeeper, these are players that are not specifically for a back three system. They could play in multiple systems. And I think the difference is that they're maybe accepting or preparing for a future without Ruben Amorim, and they're saying that, okay, this is your last go. We are going to get you these players. And I also expect Ruben Amorim to perform better with this attack. Like if you do get Sesko and Buemo and Cunha, this is the front three that we're going to have after literally having one of the worst attacks last season. So I definitely want to see an improvement, but it just all depends. We still have.
What is your ceiling? Give me your ceiling.
This season,
best case scenario this season. Best case.
Yeah, best case scenario. Let's say we get a midfielder that I rate. We get a new goalkeeper too. We get Sesko, right? I'd say best case scenario, the highest we could finish is probably 6th or 7th. That's what I would say.
Hey, that's double 15th. Let's go. That's a lot.
6th or 7th. One game a week. That's not too much to ask for, to be honest. If we're going to improve the way that I just mentioned, yeah.
It's double 15th. Not bad, eh? Anyway, 1,100 people in here. Big up to all of you guys. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Big up to Zeffy. And big up to everyone who supports the channel as well. I appreciate you all. And of course, big up to JC. You get me? Always here to just remind us that Chelsea won the Club World Cup. We know. You get me? Like and subscribe. Everyone, please hit the like button and subscribe right here, right now. So I want to talk about Chelsea next, actually, because according to Fabrizio, Garnacho and Simmons are names that are linked to move to Chelsea. So I think it's going to be a very interesting conversation. Lewis, are you going to do what the Arsenal fans did, or are you going to slowly accept that Garnacho is going to be a Chelsea player?
First off, I'm going to say something that Arsenal fans can't say, and it is day 23 of the 1,461-day, 208-week, and 4-year reign as your world champions. Big up to everybody, and hit the likes for your gargantuan, superior, incredible, and inevitable Blues. Now, on to Garnacho.
What's the like target for them to not have a curfew?
1,000. 1,000. We have high standards.
1,000 likes, guys.
Smash those likes. Smash those likes for your kings, ASAP. Now, as we were saying of Garnacho, we have spoken about this every fucking week. And I've already got to the point of accepting that this transfer is likely going to happen. I'm just glad that there's literally nothing for me to be annoyed about bar the transfer. We're not getting him on an inflated fee. We're probably going to get him as cheap as possible. He's got piss-easy wages to deal with. If he's crap, we could still flip him or maybe get our money back, and he's going to be depth. And we're also world champions. And also Clearlake and the sporting directors kind of have been proven right with the fact that we have been progressing. We have got top 4. We have won trophies. So with that in mind, if they want to die on the Garnacho hill, I'm still not going to pretend like I'm with the transfer, but you guys have a bit more leeway with me. We've been quick to criticize you. We got to be quick to give you praise and to give you a little bit of trust too. So if you want to go and get Garnacho, fine. I still don't get it. I still think there's going to be better options out there. But you've made it as easy for me to deal with as possible. So fine. I guess is going to happen. I've accepted that was going to happen weeks ago. Now I'm just at a point where I just want it over and done with. Every day we get the same garbage updates. And to be fair, the updates have kind of like actually been updating recently. We now know we're Garnacho's priority target. We know personal terms aren't going to be an issue, and we're probably going to make a move later in the window. Fine. Again, fine. But I'm just sick of hearing the same garbage every day and then having to talk about the same garbage every day. This is one of the most dragged out sagas I've ever seen. And we've been the kings of dragged out sagas.
It's actually been happening since January too, the Garnacho one.
Yeah, I'm just so bored of it. But it's like, it's going to happen, so whatever. Whatever.
And Simmons, that one's a different one than from what happened.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that transfer happening. I've got no real worries about that one either, even if Sesko gets done or not. because like he's pushing massively for the move to a point where it seems like there's an air of inevitability about it. So again, if you're getting Simmons and Garnacho comes in, fine. But I'm not going to start giving you copium about how Garnacho's a good move for us. I still don't back it. But you guys can make the decision. I'll support him like a fan usually does. And I'll just judge based on what I see. I'll judge him from when he joins the club, if he joins, or when he joins.
I respect that. See, this is why Lewis, his fan base, Chelsea are able to do what they do. They're balanced. Because you can't win all the time, right? You can't get all the signings you want. You can't get all the big names and best names. Sometimes you got to take a hit, but this is a business hit. This is like Lewis mentioned. This is Chelsea getting a young player, taking it off the hands of a terrible disaster, radioactive, terrible poisoning food place at United, and seeing whether the player can turn it around, right? So I'm actually really calm with what I'm seeing over here. I think Lewis is bored. This man says I'm gassing. Lewis is bored, but Shik is probably not bored because he wants this signing to leave his place.
Yeah,
So
man, if United is rotten, this and that, cool. Let Chelsea save him. Man. He can be saved by them. So it doesn't matter.
And if you don't want, we'll send them over to North London in 2 years.
I was just gonna say, if we're smart, we put a sell-on clause because we
let's
know they're
Vator
going
talk
to...
more, please. Talk more, Vator. Yeah,
If we're smart, we put on a sell-on clause. If we're smart.
listen. I don't know why you got
something, but you know, I'm sick and tired of you, Vator. And you know, I'll say this to the Chelsea fans. Lewis will tell you this. I've been very complimentary of Chelsea lately. I've been saying Chelsea are cooking and
you've been twerking.
There is no world in which Garnacho is a good signing. Let's all stop it. Lewis himself hasn't said. He said he'll back him when he's a Chelsea player. But I will say my honest opinion. Just like I laughed at Madueke, I'm going to laugh at Garnacho. I think this is a horrendous signing for Chelsea. I think this is completely unnecessary. I think he provides nothing to what Chelsea need. I think he's toxic to the dressing room. I think there is, you can look at it as much as you want. There is no positive from signing Garnacho, in my opinion. Like this whole flipping stuff, I get it. Football is a business. But as a Chelsea fan, surely you want more from your club. I think Xavi Simons is an amazing signing, as an example. I think Xavi Simons will allow Chelsea to play beautiful, fluid football. If they rock up against the team with Joao Pedro, Delap, Simmons on the left and Palmer on the right, they can cook them, bro. They can cook. You can cook your opponents. But I'll be honest with you, bro. I ain't gonna sit up here and prop Alejandro Garnacho. I think that's a horrendous signing. And here's the thing with this whole Chelsea situation. Look, I think Chelsea can challenge this season. I think Chelsea this season can put up a good challenge for the Premier League. They have a good manager. They have a good team. They have a good squad. Best midfield in the league, as they tell us. Best left back in the league. Cole Palmer is better than Saka, better than blah, blah, blah. We've heard all these things before. You get me? But here's the thing that I would like to explain from my perspective. If I'm in Chelsea's position, this is what I do differently. The money that I'm spending on Gittins and Garnacho, I take that same exact money and I'd give that to Rodrigo. The wages for Gittins and Garnacho is the same wage that you'd have to pay Rodrigo anyway with Xavi. Same wages, you get me? But it's just one player that makes a massive difference. He'd be open to the move, you get me? You're in London, you're in the Champions League, you're a very good football club. He just watched you win the Club World Cup, so he would be happy to make that move, Rodrigo. You'd take players and help take you to the next level. For me, like I said, there is a difference between us going climbing. You guys know those things that you have locally where you climb these little stones and stuff and you're tied to a rope, versus you climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, or you're trying to climb Mount Everest. Because you have to try to take that next step, and in order to take that next step, you have to sign better players. These are other than Joao Pedro. Hear me out. Other than Joao Pedro, because I think I rate Joao Pedro so highly. I think he's Firmino region. Other than Joao Pedro, I think the rest of your signings are all top 4 level signings. They're all top 4 team, stable in top 4. That's it. But it's not taking you that next step, that next level. In terms of depth, fair enough. It's good in terms of depth, but you need game winners. You need players who can, as an example, this season Chelsea had a good season. It had a very good start to the season. Had a horrendous time in the middle, and then after that you had a good time again. The thing is with this, I'm not gaslighting at all. I'm actually spitting facts. The thing with world-class players like Rodrigo, like players who can elevate your team to the next level, they can drag you out of the like bad times. And we actually saw that happen with our very own eyes when all the Liverpool centre backs were injured, and we had a horrendous season. Salah literally dragged us to top 4 and made us finish top 4. We won 8 of our last 10 games, and he dragged us there almost single-handedly. That's why when you look at Chelsea, I think there must be at least a little bit of disappointment. Why didn't we do a bit better? Because when you speak about like we can flip Garnacho, of course, yeah, you can flip Garnacho, but flipping Garnacho doesn't make you win now. Flipping Garnacho doesn't make you successful in the short term, and that's the difference for me.
But you know what it is though, Hassam? You also need to take into consideration who their owners are. Now, we can disagree with the model of how they want to win, like how they're going to go on to winning the Premier League, but there has to be a potential upside for a player. Now, when you're looking at a Rodrigo on his age, by the time they kind of get the best out of him, he's going to be in his, like, coming to his 30s where that value isn't going to remain. They want to get players who are young, who are good enough to get them to win a league title. But if on the journey they're not good enough, they can flip. So let's say, for example, let's take the Garnacho deal, for example, right? Now, the guy's, what, 21, 22? Let's say, for example, they keep him for 2 years, 3 years. He's still going to be 25, 26. So regardless of whether he fails or he doesn't, or he isn't as good as they thought he was, they may make their money back. We've seen them do that with players who just haven't. Like, look at Noni Madueke. I know it's Arsenal and we're stupid when it comes to Chelsea players. We kind of give in and just whatever, but they still get their money back for these players. Now, when it comes to the players that you're looking at, what's the categorical financial upside if it was to fail? And that's what they look at. João Pedro, for example, even let's say he does okay, there's still a financial upside because.
But you aren't disproving what I'm saying because you're talking financially. I'm talking on the pitch.
No. But
you got to think of both things. You got to think of both.
Of how they want to do it, because you're looking at the idealistic of how you as a fan would want to do it. But that's not how they operate.
Gotta be realistic.
Okay, I agree. That's not how they operate, but I'm calling out how they operate.
Yeah. No, you're not. As much as I want Berta to go.
I hear it, but like it's also been progressing. This is why we kind of have to see it out from this point. Garnacho is only coming in as depth. We look at the likes of Rodrigo. I've heard no rumors that he wants to leave, and I think that's why no one's really pushing for him like that. So it seems like that one's dead in the water. Nico Williams, you already know the scenario with his wages. No one's even going to look at him with what he's on. And I think he signed a new contract extension anyway, so it don't even matter. But like Garnacho's just there as like was basically a Mudryk replacement. If he doesn't work, he gets flipped. And I guess we're just trusting the other forwards that we have. Delap, João Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer. You got Esteban coming in as well. There is actually still options there in the forward line. Now, I agree Garnacho doesn't improve nothing, but the attack's been improving itself. He just has to come in there and just be a plan B off the bench. If that works, nice. Yeah. If it don't work, you flip him. But it's just dragged out now. Low risk. It's a very low risk move.
Yeah, but in order to flip someone, he needs to provide you with something. Like Madueke, at least
he's also going to have to play quite a lot too.
No, because
that's the thing. Okay, Madueke. Why could Chelsea flip Madueke? Let's use Madueke as an example. Why can Chelsea flip Madueke? Because Madueke played Conference League games,
played a lot
played Premier League games, and game time was available to him to be flipped.
Yeah, and Garnacho will still be getting minutes anyway, but as depth. Not unlike any of the big
he's going to be getting minutes like Carabao Cup, FA Cup, not really Champions League and stuff.
Not really Champions League.
But even that's going to be enough for him to show some level of improvement. His PR's in the mud right now.
I also will say this. As someone who has not rated Garnacho for the longest time, he is most useful when he comes off the bench. And in that first season with Ten Hag, when he was coming off the bench, he was the most useful at that time. He was scoring match winners for us when he was coming off the bench. It just looked electric. If that's what Chelsea are looking to do, then I kind of understand it. I just think it's so unnecessary. Why? Why is it Garnacho that you're looking towards to flip? That means you're going to have to play him.
The cheapest player.
It is.
The cheapest player, I guess. And the situation is probably the best.
The reason why I think they're going for Garnacho is because, number one, as much as we think he's shit, he's actually shown to show some form of potential. Now, even if I look at it from an unbiased lens, like when I look at Garnacho, he's a rough player. He's someone that just needs fine-tuning, like end product, a little bit of kind of molding and developing. and he could be a good player. Like
they tried to fine-tune Nunes finishing for 3 years, it didn't work.
No.
They tried to fine-tune Havertz for 2 years, it didn't work. You can't always fine-tune players.
No, you can. No, because
it's really minimal, though. We're not talking about 65 million signing in Havertz, and we're not talking about whatever the 60 million was for Nunes. This is really minimal investment at the chance of flipping it. And the reason why I had the gaslighter up for Hussam earlier is because he's dealing in FIFA world. Oh, just take this, combine the money and go get Rodrigo. That's fantasy world. That's FIFA.
How's that FIFA?
Because Chelsea's model hasn't been like that. So you're suggesting something completely different.
Okay, so how much did they pay for Gittins? How much?
No, see, that's the point. You're trying to combine 2 players into one. They don't do that.
Okay, answer my question, please. How much do they pay for Gittins? How much?
I don't know. You tell me.
50. How much are they going to pay for Garnacho?
Okay, probably close to the same.
20,
I
25.
think it'll be like 30. I think it'll be 30. Yeah.
Let's say they pay 30.
Yeah.
How much is that in total?
That's 80, but that's not the point. You also have to talk about
wages.
wages.
More than what Rodrigo would cost.
No, because then you also talk about wages. No. See, you're in fantasy land again.
I'll do one better though.
Let me put this up here. Because listen, the wages is different. The wages is also going to take a player that, yes, he's done it.
Combine the wages of both of them, you get Rodrigo's wage.
But then you break the structure.
That's not how it works. It's not about how much you're spending.
And if you're talking about flipping, can they not flip Rodrigo? Are we going to lie to each other?
No.
Oh, really? So if they sign Rodrigo on a 5-year contract, first year he comes in, because he starts left wing every game, he scores 15 goals. You think they can't flip him? Are you mad?
No. Because you look,
oh my God!
There's a big
the same amount of money.
No. There's a big.
You really think they can't flip Rodrigo?
No, because I'll explain it to you. Age in football matters. You're not going to go pay 50, 60, 70 million pounds for a 29, 30-year-old. It's just not going to happen.
Rodrigo's not 29, 30.
Bro, Rodrigo ain't 29.
Will be, though. That's what I'm saying. In 2, 3 years.
Oh, in 5 years. Oh, no. He's talking about like in 1 or 2 years. He's saying like.
Brother, Rodrigo is 24. If they want to flip Rodrigo 3 years from now, after him having 3 amazing seasons at Chelsea, they can flip Rodrigo because a Bayern will come in for him, a PSG will come in for him, pay 115, 120 million.
Okay, let me expand on the point. You're going to be talking about he's going to want, and he has demanded, by the way, it's come out that his camp is demanding 300k a week. Chelsea don't do that. Yeah, Chelsea don't do. Number one, they don't do that. Number two, when you have a player of that, you can't get 15 goals and then have a team come in and pay you 90 million plus 350k a week.
Liverpool can go and do that.
You need to be competing for golden cups, golden boots, and stuff like that.
For
that price to be demanded. Otherwise, what's going to happen is that player, you'd have to reduce your asking price to like 20, 30 million to justify paying them wages. Like, you've got to look at it from a holistic point of view, not just, oh, he's Rodrigo. Yes, he's Rodrigo, but the flip side can happen.
Do you think when Liverpool won the league, I brought up anyone's wages?
But that's no, because you're not looking at how Chelsea operate. You're looking at how.
Yeah, but I'm looking at a world where Chelsea now got to the top 4. They need these 1 or 2 signings to take them to the next level. And if they sign those players and end up winning the league, I promise you, Lewis is not sitting there in May going like, how much does Rodrigo earn per week? He wouldn't care.
Us as fans are not, but as the owners, they're only going to want to win their way.
No one disagrees.
Yeah, but that's what I'm calling out. I'm just calling out like, I think you should have done like better in terms of these signings.
But it would make more sense to call it out if we were failing. We've now progressed 1-2 trophies.
No, but also like let's forget Rodrigo.
You have to let them cook.
It's true.
I completely understand both points. Like I agree with Hussam. Like right now, Chelsea have made a good push. Why not just try to get better players in terms, like make a better push? My thing is like, you don't need Rodrigo technically. You're not that type of club to pay that 300k or whatever for him. Why not just spend that 30 million on a goalkeeper, something that you do actually need? And that's where I stand. Is Garnacho is just not needed at the club. Why is Garnacho all of a sudden the experiment to flip players? It's not like you guys struggle to flip players. You flip players all the time. You get money for players all the time. How much money did you get for like selling Leslie the other day? Like 20 or 30 million to Burnley. So it's like you can get.
And then you're another 20.
Exactly. So you made 50 million just off of that. Now you're going to spend, let's say, 30 of that on Garnacho. Why? Just spend that on a goalkeeper. Something
because
that you actually need.
Shik, because the same science that had them do those other flips is showing that, you know what, this Garnacho for 30 whatever mil, it's a worthy flip.
But that's the thing though. Why Garnacho? They're flipping players like
the cheapest
Leslie.
one. That's why he's the cheapest one.
I think you can still flip players that you currently have at your club. Garnacho is just an unnecessary experiment. That's just in my opinion.
It's not an experiment though, because
I hear
It is an experiment because he's not going to start for them. He's not. They're not looking to Garnacho to be our starting left winger.
Jamie, okay,
We literally do know that.
Yeah, we do know that he's not going. I'll tell you right now, he's not going to start at Chelsea.
He
He's
won't
not
start.
the starting left winger for Chelsea. I don't think
but
he's
they're
going
gonna be
to
in a
ever
lot-
be.
How you wanna know how many games
They're gonna
Madueke started?
play.
31.
They're gonna be playing a lot more games, so they are gonna have to at some point rotate him in.
Garnacho League Cup. No.
So you
League
think?
Cup, FA Cup.
So
Why
you
do
think?
Champions League
No,
games
wait.
don't
Let
make
me
sense
get
to
this straight. So you think that if Chelsea are going away to the Wanda Metropolitano, Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, they're gonna start Garnacho?
Why
No,
go to
he'd come off the
extreme?
bench.
Why go to the extreme?
He'd
There's
come
come
off.
off the
Okay,
bench.
so Lewis, he'd
You
come off
telling
the
me
bench
every
before
week you're
Pedro
going to the
Neto.
Bernabeu, you
Would he
go
come
to
off
one-
the bench before
but when
Pedro
did the
Neto?
Super Cup start?
Depends
When
if
did the
Neto's
Super Cup
starting or not, but he'd be higher up on the pecking order than him.
I expect Xavi Simons to be the left wing starter.
Could be Simmons, could be Neto, could be any of them, but they'll all be higher up in the pecking order than Garnacho.
Okay, so who? So I'd say Simmons is number one. I'd say number two is who, in your opinion?
It might be Palmer on the right, could be Neto on the right. It would genuinely depend on the way
No,
we
I'm
set
talking
up.
about the left-hand side. So your starter would be
Oh.
Simmons, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Gittins.
Simmons, maybe Gittins, maybe
Yeah.
Neto. Again, it depends. It really
So he'd be
depends.
like fourth option. That's why Shik is saying what he's saying. In order to flip him, he's probably just gonna be playing Carabao Cup games, FA Cup games. I don't think he's like
He could
might
still be an
touch-
option off the bench for us in
Yeah.
games, though. Like maybe if we're chasing a goal or something, or
Yeah.
if we're defending
Yeah,
and we
he
want to
can, yeah.
transition because he's a good ball carrier.
It's not so much the starts, but like Lewis said, it's the subs. Him being subbed on, him being an impact. That's going to spark interest from other clubs. Sheik made mention early in the show about how Ten Hag used him well, and when he probably showed to be in his best form. And that's not necessarily a starter, but that's coming off the bench and being an impact player. So listen, I'm not trying to gas anything, but I see how
Spark
Chelsea's
interest
been
is not the
moving.
same as flipping.
I'm just like, do I think he can be flipped?
because you could
Yes.
spark
Like,
interest by him coming off the bench from Crystal Palace. They ain't gonna pay more than 50 million, 40 million.
No. But if you do that and he has good performances many times, many clubs will be like, oh, if he's
To be
playing,
fair, there is one thing that's like the reason why I'm not going all out is because there is a guy who's Spanish who manages Arsenal Football Club, who it would not shock me if next summer
so I think
puts
we
like a
should put
60
in
million pound offer for Garnacho. That's
We
the
have
one
to put in
thing.
a
That,
set
like,
on clause.
you get me? That's the one thing. I won't even lie. Like at this point, you can't even rule it out. Like if it's just because Arteta exists as the Arsenal manager and he loves signing Chelsea forwards, you can't 100% rule it out like a summer from now. You know, that's all I'm saying.
And that's why, from a
That's all
Chelsea
I'm
perspective, I get it because again, they do this all the time. They do flip their players. Like they're not wrong about that. I just think, why is Garnacho the experiment to flip a player? That means you're gonna have to play him. That means you're gonna have to regularly start him in a couple of games, feature him in a couple of games, which I just don't think is gonna do anything for you. It's not any benefit to having Garnacho in your team, genuinely. I've watched him week in, week out. And I'm not trying to be disingenuous. He's played as an inside forward, inside 10 for us. He's going to play as a winger, which I think what he more naturally is. But the stats are there. We've watched enough games of Garnacho for you to think that I just don't think it's an answer to anything. He's going to be third choice winger. He's third choice winger. Gittins is probably going to be above him. So why even just sign him? Just go spend 30 million on a goalkeeper. Any goalkeeper. I bet you they're probably better than Sanchez. I bet it's the same case with Onana.
8 million was the difference why they couldn't sign Maignan.
Exactly. But you're going to spend 30
no
on
retail
Garnacho
value,
because
sadly.
you want to experiment on flipping him. That's my whole point. Is that like, why are you trying to experiment on Garnacho? Just go get a goalkeeper.
Market opportunity and all of that. I don't see it, but they see something I don't.
Hey, run it though. I'm cool with it, man. Of course.
It's like their project's been working. We are progressing, so that like you gotta let them cook. If they want to go get Garnacho, they want to go get Garnacho. Maybe it's the craziest thing we've seen, and he just does a madness. Maybe, but shit, that sounds like hopium. Even thinking about it. I need to see it to believe it.
I feel like Garnacho will either really succeed or just be shit. There's no in the middle with this guy. There is literally
No
no in
chance.
the middle.
Yeah.
There is no middle. He either is gonna cook unbelievably well, or he's just gonna be ass. Like I just don't see a world in the middle. Anyway, let me just grab these supers before we move on the topic.
Just
Big up
before,
to
welcome baby Neymar. Welcome baby Neymar. He's arrived. Shah Esteval.
who's that?
Esteval.
No one knows who he is, Blunt.
You'll learn.
One last time, is Havertz better than Glock 40? By the way, guys, we're 50 likes away from 500 likes. Can we get there, you frauds? It's a free button, yeah. Close the live chat, hit the like button, yalla. Everyone, hit the like button, subscribe. Anyway, Souls, your response, please.
I've made you far too much money on this topic, you know. I think I've already covered the Gyökeres transfer for you with this. No, I've said it, and I'll keep saying it because people don't want to listen. They have their strengths. That's what I'll say.
You made me far too much money. Big up. Thank you, Ed, for the $2. Big up. Of which the American government will take 30% and YouTube will take 50%. So thank you for the 50 cents, mate. Big up to Joe Green, who says, if Poole miss Isak and get Rodrigo, huge downgrade. Rodrigo is not a downgrade on anyone, Habibi. Rodrigo is a baller. What's this new thing where everyone's acting like Rodrigo's this overrated player, bro? Do you guys watch football? It's crazy. It's crazy. When did iconic signings really work out for Chelsea? Frank Lampard, John Terry, Petr Cech, Ashley Cole, Claude Makelele.
I'm saying like a lot of them, well, some of them weren't like big names when we got them. That's what he's saying. I think like you could say the start of the Roman era. That's when I'd say it was really working. Everything
Makelele
from like
wasn't a big name.
No. I said from the start. You started adding Makelele and everything towards the end, and you kind of like tanked
Okay,
off. When you were saying Lampard, when you were saying Lampard, Lampard was a reject off West Ham. JT came straight off the academy and all of that. Cech was a prospect. All of that.
Okay. Go later in the eras. Diego Costa. Where did you sign him from?
Diego Costa's probably the only main striker that's worked for us in a decade.
Matic.
But maybe Giroud.
Fabregas. N'Golo Kante.
But I think the argument he's trying to make is that the majority were more few and far between, if anything, especially in the last 10 years.
Yeah, but I think Kante had an unbelievable season at Leicester and then you signed him.
Yeah, and N'Golo, another one, goes without saying.
Yeah.
But there's also some that like you bring in with a quiet name, like your Marcus Alonso.
Won 2 Prems in a row with 2 different teams.
Matic.
Bro, N'Golo Kante at
I feel
Leicester.
like he became iconic. I don't think Kante was iconic until after his career.
Also, here's the problem with your super chat, Cypher Blue.
Kante was...
Here's the problem with your super chat. Rodrigo is not even an iconic signing. Iconic is a big word, bro. Like, iconic don't apply to Rodrigo. Iconic, I don't know, is like Thierry Henry.
Iconic is the top, like, I'm talking.
Yeah, iconic is like Salah, Henry.
Yeah.
KDB, that's iconic. No one mentioned the word iconic, by the way. You took it to the next level unnecessarily. Every time Vator opens his mouth, gaslight. He could say good morning and I feel gaslighted. It's true. It's true, bro. That's the type of person Vator is. Like, he just loves gaslighting, bro. He's just gaslighting supreme, you know? Buy 2, flip 1 to cover the cost of the other. I think Simmons has the potential to improve the team in the same manner as Rodrigo, almost. Simmons definitely can't improve. Guys, the level of disrespect shown to some people to Rodrigo. What are we doing here, guys? You get me? Where are we going with football discourse? How is Simmons Rodrigo level, guys? I rate Xavi Simmons, but he ain't Rodrigo level, guy. Why do you guys exaggerate so much sometimes? Like, you're just talking like it's mad. It's literally mad, bro. Unbelievable. I cannot believe this. I cannot. This is mad. This is actually mad. Garnacho has 12 million following. Easy advertising. Where does he have 12 million following?
Who cares, man?
It might be all together or something. I don't know.
All I'm saying is, Lewis, get used to when his brother starts leaking lineups whenever he's not in the lineup himself.
Hey, you know what? Cool. I'm going to talk about my watch-alongs. Not all bad, you know.
You didn't like the leaks, Shik. I thought you liked the leaks.
It was all every time when he wasn't, or I think maybe it's the other way around. Every time when he was or he wasn't in the lineup, it would get leaked by his brother.
Okay.
Yeah, it would get.
Yo, Garnacho has 12 million followers on Instagram. Bomba. How the hell does he have 11.7 million? million followers. Bro,
He's that
what
guy.
the hell? 11.7 million followers. Garnacho. Who you guys following on social media?
Man's doing.
How many
yeah,
followers does Salah
yo,
have? Let me
man
check.
pays for his own transfer. That's why.
How many
Shirt
followers does Salah
sales
have?
galore, fam. I'm
Crazy,
telling you.
man. 12 million followers.
Yo,
That's how much
you
he's
see,
worth.
Clearly,
12
they know
million.
what they're doing. Even a bench player, man's doing bits. Let's not talk about
Salah has 66 million followers. Who's the most followed Premier League player? Let me check.
Oh, Premier League player.
The Erling.
It's got to be someone like a good-looking one, innit?
Oh, Salah is the most followed one, 63. Haaland has 37. Rashford is third, actually, and KDB is fourth.
Okay.
Damn, Salah even has more GA when it comes to the Instagram followers. Big up, Mo, man. Big up to Jeff, who says, to say he's been bought to flip is ridiculous. Teams buy players to make the squad stronger, and if he flops, how do you get more money for him? Silly talk. What would you?
Simple. Look at our last couple of transfers. We can flip players that have been playing poorly for us. It's crazy to think that we couldn't at this point. But yeah, he's going to be here for depth. Depth and maybe to flip if it doesn't work out. I don't know what makes you think Chelsea still don't do the flipping thing, but yeah, big up.
Hussam, what is Rodrigo good at? Real analysis, please. I'll give you real analysis. The best right winger in the whole league and the best winger in the league goes by the name of Mohamed Salah. If I play Salah left wing, I promise you he ain't scoring 29 goals. It's just not going to happen. The problem is with this Rodrigo situation that people don't understand. When you're playing Rodrigo right wing, you are limiting him so much. The most basic move, cut in and shoot, he can't do. He played 12 games down the left-hand side. He has 6 goals, 6 assists. 12 GA in 12 games. Now, I'm not saying he's going to replicate 12 GA in 12 games, but at least we have a sample size to work off. The problem is, in order for him to score down the right-hand side, he needs to score an unreal goal like he did against Atletico or something like this. Like, he can't just score an okay goal. And Vinny don't pass him the ball like in behind for him to be making those runs. So that's what I'll say. Anyway, guys, big up to all of you guys. 1,300 people almost in the building. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel right here, right now. Let's move on to talk about the Arsenal. I want to talk about Eze. I want to talk about the Arsenal situation currently. I want to talk about your preseason friendly against Spurs. How do you feel about your club right now, Mr. Sulz? Talk to me.
Hopefully, Madueke can be the left winger because, man, I am tired of seeing that left-hand side being neglected in football games. I think I'm going to start you off with the preseason friendly because that's obviously something that's happened recently. We've got one tomorrow as well where we might see a bit more of our players. I know Madueke's been training and he's back in with the squad and stuff like that. So, and obviously Gyökeres has had a few, what is that now, another week with training with the Arsenal. So we might see a bit more minutes. I think part of the problem was that we only got to see some of the players come off the bench, and especially the signings that we made for about 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes at most. So it was a bit difficult to kind of gauge what is new, what are the ideas that are going to come through, because Norgard isn't exactly going to implement new and flashy ideas. That's what you need a Martin Zubimendi to come in and do, but we didn't really get to see him much against Spurs. But when he did come on, he changed the game. Now, my kind of problem is, it kind of does feel like the same. And I think that's why a lot of people have had a bit of a hissy fit. I'm too early to complain. I mean, it's preseason friendly. I'm not that arsed until the season starts. That's when I'll have like a proper exciting reaction. And I'll also be, reactionary if I need to be. But right now it's just watching the game and just kind of seeing what's out there. But it does seem very favoured to the right-hand side again. It feels like we're going through Odegaard, Saka.
What's the update on the Saka injury, by the way?
Nothing. I've not heard there's anything serious. It looks like it may have just been a precautionary kind of just took him off. It's pre-season, so they're probably advised to just, if you feel something, just come off or just ask to become to be taken off. I don't think there's anything serious. So those would have all heard of it. So yeah, that's kind of my reaction to that. I feel like it's become even more.
How do you feel about the Eze thing?
Yeah, it's become paramount to get an Eze, to get a Leao, to get a Rodrigo, whoever that player is, or if there's two to come in. I know obviously that's a bit more of a far stretch idea, but whatever that is, we need to bring one of them in because we need to get creativity. We need to bring balance. We need to bring something to this team that's going to allow us to attack on the left as well. Because one of the things with City, the Liverpools, like you can even talk about Chelsea in this frame now, it's a lot more unpredictability to where they're going to play. Because I know they've got Cole Palmer, I know you've got Salah, and I know there's Erling Haaland and stuff like that. But there's a lot more balance between the two sides. Whereas with Arsenal, you know the majority of the threat is coming from the right. Whereas with the left-hand side, doesn't seem to offer the same level of intensity nor threat or creativity even. So there needs to be something that balances the equation, that balances the threat. That then means it's not just on Saka, it's not just on Odegaard, but it also means they're not going to get tag teamed, they're not going to overload that side to kind of stop the threats from coming in. And I think that's what needs to be addressed. I don't know whether Madueke can do that. I don't know whether Eze comes in and does that. I don't know if Leao comes in and does that. It is going to be a tactical tweak as well. And whether Zubimendi can also help unlock those with the quicker passes from deep. But again, it's one of those ones where I'm a bit relaxed. I want to see another signing come in. I do think we need one more to really elevate the performances, to really elevate the team's ability to kind of compete. And at the moment, look, I still put us to go and win the title. I do think we're going to be massively like in that title challenge, even without Eze coming in. I'm always going to back my team. I don't care if you're going to go get Alexander Isak. The club so far have addressed what I wanted them to. So it'd be hypocritical of me to sit here and go, I'm so concerned. No, they got me my striker. They're looking to get me my left winger. They're looking at a left winger /10, whatever you want to call Eze, that's fine. They've gone and got Zubimendi. They went and got Norgard. They went and got Kepa. You can look whether the quality is good enough. That's a debate we can have, but they've addressed everything. So, and obviously they're looking to address the final maybe piece that I wanted. So bring it on. That's my stance. I'm never going to back down, especially with the improvements I've seen. I am not going to come to the project, back the project to this point, look at us competing, and then back down just because another club's doing better in signings. I'm going to say bring it. We've got our Victor Gyökeres, you've got your Isak. Let's see which Swede wins.
Mm-hmm. So with the Eze situation, do you think you're confident that he's going to be an Arsenal player?
From everything I'm reading and everything that I'm being told by people who are somewhat reliable and reputable in terms of the Arsenal news, I'm confident it's a lot further on than what the media are telling us. And I feel like an agreement is in place. It's semantics, you have to negotiate. If anyone knows Berta and his time at Atletico Madrid primarily, this is kind of what he does. He doesn't always just go in and go, okay, this is the price we're going to pay. In some circumstances, he has done that. But in this circumstance, he's trying to negotiate the structure of payment. So this isn't the fee. It's not about, Crystal Palace fee isn't right. They want to have a lot more up front. They want to get like 40 million, I think 30 to 40 million up front. Whereas at Arsenal want to kind of structure the deal to be, all right, we'll pay you in 3. So you can get your 60 million or 65 million, whatever the case may be. But we want to do it in sort of 3 payments. We want to do 20 million and then obviously structure it that way rather than what they're doing. So it's just a matter of structural disagreements. So I am fairly confident it gets done.
What do you guys make of this Arsenal situation? Vator, talk.
I mean, listen, I can't be upset either, because if you look to compare yourselves to other clubs, you're never going to be satisfied, right? You're always going to be looking at what other clubs are signing and being like, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. But if you look at what was kind of like preventing Arsenal from really getting over the hump in past seasons, like Sulz said, they've addressed it. And yes, what happens if Odegaard is out of form? Well, it looks like they're trying to address that as well with Eze. So Arsenal fans that are crashing out, Arsenal fans that are like, oh, this club's not showing ambition again or too slow. I don't know how you say that before a ball is being kicked, because for what was challenging the club, they've addressed it. Are you going to say, are they still going to fall short because they don't have the better manager of who's competing for the title? Okay, you can look to say that. Are they going to fall short because they don't have squad for squad? But they were challenging before they had squad for squad, right? And they've improved on this squad. So a lot of things need to fall right. And I think we saw how a well-fallen season happened for Liverpool last season when a few things went wrong for Arsenal as well as City. So Sulz is balanced. I can't hate on it. And if the Eze signing does happen, I think for everybody that's saying, "Oh, Arsenal are clearly second or third," you got to change that type of thinking, because he is a game changer, and we've seen Arteta make better with worse players, right? Everyone wants to crash it on Havertz. Oh, he was signed as a midfielder. Look, he's playing. Well, okay, you saw Arteta adjust to kind of get the best out of the squad, out of the team. I think.
By the way, sorry to interrupt you, Vator. I'm going to come back to you. Lewis, just so you know, you're going to get Xavi Simons. Ornstein Bomba. Elliot is going to Leipzig as the Simons replacement.
Oh, let's go. Up the Chelsea.
Go ahead.
No.
Let's go, man. Garnacho soon as well. Let's go. That means
Go ahead,
we
Vader.
get that deal done soon. Yeah, let's go.
Carry on, Vator. Because
Let me be happy for a second, man.
Yeah. Let Lewis live.
Okay.
Listen,
ahead,
the champs keep getting better. No, listen, the Arsenal moves. I think it's really gonna have all of us wonder who's really winning the title, and for our Arsenal fan to back them winning, for a Liverpool fan to back them winning, obviously with the moves that they're making, even with regards to City and Chelsea, we've all improved. Like, we should all be, you know what, we got a chance at this. Now, Arsenal. Gyökeres, however you want to say it, that's the signing that I'll be honest with you, has me most concerned, because that was the glaring position that they needed to fix, and every Arsenal fan said that that's the signing that they want. So anything that improves the squad beyond that, I'm still seeing Arsenal as dangerous threats, and I'm not gonna try to poo-poo on any signings. Not at all, because they've improved.
I also want to add, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the way that I've been brought up. Maybe it's the culture I've been brought up in. But I flipping hate this notion that people have given up because they're going to get Isak. I absolutely hate the talk of it. Like, man, where are your balls? Like, where are you? Are you man pussies or something? Like, how are you going to bend over, to Liverpool just because they're signing Alexander Isak? Yes, they've done brilliant business, right? I'm not saying that. I'm not downplaying what they've done. But where's the mentality? Like, I don't understand. Most of the standard FC bullshit people, right, on social media, the ones who kind of crap on us for being ultra positive, are the same people that are crashing out. Like, it makes no sense. Are you backing your club to win, or you're not? Is there standards in you, or is it all fake and just a pariah for you to be on social media? Like, back your team. If you believe it, you believe it. If your expectations are you're never going to win the league, cool, stick to that then. But this
So, you know what it is?
crashing out right now because they can get Isak, then you didn't believe Gyökeres was good. So why did Standard FC tell me Gyökeres is the guy to go and sign? Well, then as soon as someone else signs a better player, by the way, we've had to compete with Erling Haaland. He is the best striker in world football. Forget Alexander Isak for a moment. Erling Haaland has been outright the best striker in the Premier League for the last few seasons.
Yeah, he's been a killer.
Same way Salah has been one of the best attackers. We've still been there and we've still competed. Why am I now going to cower away because they're going to sign Isak? Nah, man, I've got my sweet. I'm telling you, I don't like that mentality. For me, you got to stick.
Oh, you're not afraid of Liverpool then?
No. Why should I be afraid of you? Why? Like, tell me one reason I should be afraid of you. As a team that wants to win, if my players, if those players come out and tell me, oh, they signed Alexander Isak, it's gonna fuck out the club. Get the fuck out. I don't care who you are. That is not a mentality I'm having at this club. Because you can't tell me you've been competing at the very, very top of this league. You've been competing for the last 3 seasons. And now you want to crash out, and now the mentality is going to fall. Nah, this is when you get stronger. Look at how many players. We brought in 7 players.
That's crazy.
You're telling me the ambition is there. You've got to fucking deliver it. And I'm not going to have the fan base who go to the stadium, the players on that pitch, the manager himself. No one can doubt it. That's the problem. When you look at the biggest clubs in the world, look at Real Madrid. Do they ever think they're going to lose? No. Do you think Liverpool are going to come into the season thinking we may or may not? No, they're going to say we're winning it all. That's the mentality they're going in with this season.
Yeah, this season.
City, same thing. Regardless of whether they think they've done good business, City are going, we've got Pep Guardiola, bring on the league. Right? Why is it that we're now carrying away as a fan fan base to go, we're not going to compete, we can't compete, we're going to come second, we're going to come third, and just give up. You may as well not watch the league. If you've already conceded defeat, what's the point of watching football? At the end of the day, for me, I think we've done enough business to go toe-to-toe with the Liverpool. To me, I'm not afraid.
Okay, so do you think that Arsenal will win the league this season?
Yes.
Is it based off of like you backing your team, or like do you feel that you're gonna win it?
I think the reason why I say it is because for me, I found all of the answers being given to me. I asked for Edu to be replaced and see how we do our business. Bert has come in and he's literally addressed everything in pretty much a single window. Now, people can sit there and go, okay, maybe a left winger hasn't come in. Granted, I'll give that to the people because the window's not over yet. Let's see if he does. If he brings in Eze, if he brings in Liao, if he brings in Rodrigo, that gets answered for me. So what more, like genuinely, like if you're talking to
Okay, let's forget
fan,
all these. Let's just go based off reports. Let's say you sign Eze and then khalas, window over. What
I'm
do you
more
think?
than happy. They've addressed everything I've asked them to address.
That's a dangerous team.
Okay, so just to carry on like your point, do you think you're gonna win it based off of what you're saying, like you back your club, or do you actually believe it and think it?
No, I genuinely believe we will compete at the very, very highest level. And I'm talking, it'll go to the final day if it has to. Like, I'm talking that kind of race. I'm talking we're there and we're going to win it. And
Okay, but do you think you're going to win it, though? Do you think you're going to get over the line?
Absolutely. I absolutely believe we're going to get it over the line. And the reason to that is because you've got to understand, we haven't just added, some of these guys are winners. Like, Gyökeres has dragged that Sporting team to winning league titles. Zubimendi is a Euros winner. He came in on the final for one of the Ballon d'Or winner and kept Spain's performance to that level. You know, it's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy mentality to come into a final and to still produce to that level. We've got Rice, who's won. We're starting to add those caliber of players. And now, on top of our already excellent defense, we've added the likes of Christian Mosquera. We're adding the likes of, and we're looking to potentially bring in one more. We don't know whether that will happen in that Jeremy Jacquet, or whether we sell Kiwior and stuff like that. But we're
another centre back.
Yeah, no, but it's fine because if Kiwior gets sold, we get another promising centre back. So for me, there's no reason for me to sit here and go, well, if Saliba gets injured, what happens? Okay, we've got Mosquera, because I do rate Mosquera. Now, how good he translates in his first season, we'll see. But we've addressed so many key problems. Like, people are going to ask what happens if Saka gets injured. Now, I'm not saying Madueke is good enough, but Madueke is a competent Premier League player that can at least come in and do a job. So I can't sit here and go, well, if you ask me in the beginning of the season, this is what I'm asking for. The club's like, okay, here you go. We've given it you. And then I go, nah, actually.
That's actually what Lewis was calling out, because regardless of what Liverpool is doing, that was what Lewis was talking about, I think, to Sulz last week. The other Sulz, not Sulz. Sulz from Sad Channel. That's what he was talking about. He was saying, look, if you as an Arsenal fan got everything that you wanted this summer, you can't not back your club unless you just don't believe in Arteta at all. That's the thing. Like, unless you're just like so Arteta out to the level where you just don't believe in your football club at all, you don't believe in your manager at all, then fairs. I hear it. You get me? So that's why, like, the thing, like, I hear where you're coming from, Habibi. But so let me ask you this question then. Give me percentage chances winning the league. Like, just give me chances.
What is it? Are we talking just between us and Liverpool?
Yeah, let's obviously, yani, look, like Brentford have a 0.000000. Forget those. We're talking about the four big ones: Liverpool, Chelsea, City, Arsenal. Give me the percentages.
You want my truthful answer? Because you're not going to like it. I think it's 50-50.
Between you and Liverpool.
Yeah.
And then you think City and Chelsea have no chance?
Oh, no, I thought you meant like
25,
just between
25.
us two. Sorry.
No, between the four. I'm saying divide them
Okay,
between
so
the four.
in that case, how do I do it? So in that case, I'll go.
Then we all have an even chance.
I feel like I'm just gonna give City slightly less, in my opinion. I do still think they'll be there, but I'll say, how do I divide that now? Sorry, so 30. No, that'd be 44. However, it is basically Liverpool and Arsenal, and then slightly, and I'm talking like minute, right underneath, just because I just don't know how good your defense is. I've just seen too many vulnerabilities. I'm not too sure. I'm not saying
I'm not mad at that. Yep.
But I'm saying my
and in fourth favorite is Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay, so but you do realize you just proved that you're also worried about Liverpool because you just put
I
us
didn't say
equal
I'm
favorites.
not worried. I'm just saying I just believe us to get
He
it over the
respects
line.
you guys. He's just not worried.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing, Vator. When you say like, okay, people are saying that just because Isak is going to Liverpool, the league's done. That was Sol's first point. When you say Arsenal and Liverpool have like equal level favorites, like I'd assume if Sol's like, okay, Sol's, do you believe in Arteta then? Like, do you believe in him as a manager?
Yeah, I do.
Like you believe in his capability of getting over the line?
Yeah, I believe he can. It's just whether he gets in his head. But yeah, I do believe overall he can.
Okay, so like I would assume, like if you thought that, I'd assume you'd say like 35% Arsenal, 30% Liverpool. You get something that's what I think. I
No,
thought
the
you would.
reason why I'm saying like there's an even chance is because it's not that I'm scared or I'm worried. I'm just saying you guys have also done the same. Like you've got superstars in your team.
Yeah.
It's just the reason why I'm saying 50-50 is because I believe their capabilities are there. Now,
So-
the thing I can't control is whether they show that ability and they show that capability.
Yeah.
Because it's the same with Liverpool. The reason why I say is, do I think because obviously you're going off of like a perspective kind of situation of
Yeah.
can Salah maintain his levels? I understand you've addressed that, and if Wirtz comes in and Isak comes in, load bearing, all of that sort of stuff. I understand that, but we are kind of going off a speculative kind of judgment on what we think can happen. Saka, I've seen the levels he can show. Will he show it enough? That's what I'm kind of basing my judgment on. Gyökeres coming in, does that translate? I'm doing my prediction based on yes, we can get the best out of him. If not, we've got Havertz who's shown to score 17 to 20 goals in a single season. Now, I'm going off of the reports we do get Eze, and that's kind of where my judgment calls are. We've addressed it. If Odegaard does decide I'm going to have a stinker, cool, we can go play Madueke at the left wing. We can go put Eze in the 10 and continue.
Okay, so you're saying Eze is pivotal in your opinion. So if you don't get him, you change your opinion?
Not massively, but I do think that kind of brings the evenness. If we don't get Eze, I'll give you guys a 5% more chance.
Okay, fair enough. Listen, I think you've been very fair about this argument. And once again, look, this was the thing that Lewis was saying last week. The other souls didn't get him. The thing is with this conversation is the following. Look, if you as an Arsenal fan get everything that you wanted this summer, you should believe that you can win the league. That's just the truth. Like,
Absolutely.
if you forget everything, forget all outside factors. If Arsenal fan, you wanted a striker, you wanted a left winger, you wanted backup, you wanted blah, blah, blah. You say all of these things, you can't then come out and say, oh my God, we won't win the league. Like, you cannot do this. Unless, and Sulz already mentioned it, unless you don't believe in Arteta. If you don't believe in Arteta, fine, everyone's entitled to an opinion. Yeah, no one's going to force you to believe in him anymore. It's up to you completely. But I respect what Sulz is saying. I think you're very logical with the way that you've argued it, to be fair. So, yeah, I hear his logic. Big up to everyone locked in. We have 1,400 people almost in the building. Can we get the likes up, you bunch of frauds? Every single one of you guys, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. We have hit 500 likes. Let's try to push to 600 likes, 700 likes. And a reminder, because I know a lot of you guys watch on the replay, go subscribe to all these guys' channels in the panel. Please. It helps all of them out. Go subscribe to every single one of them. You get me? That's what I want all of you guys to do. And we're going to end the stream by talking about my club, Liverpool Football Club. Like and subscribe. So, people know my opinions on my club. It's more interesting to hear other people's opinions on my club. Let's go. The best person to start with is Mr. Gaslight himself. Of course, Vator. Tell me your thoughts on the Isak situation. Tell me your thoughts on Liverpool Football Club, my club.
Gaslighting. Liverpool. I think I'm actually very excited for this season. I'm excited because what Liverpool are doing, how they aren't being talked about with regards to the spending for the season is refreshing. It's refreshing not to hear a club that's moving like a big club, a club that's spending and getting big name players, big transfer value, aren't called out for ruining the league, aren't called out for ruining football, aren't called out for ruining a football pyramid and pricing out football. It's so refreshing to see that when the media darlings do it, That's what clubs do. When you're at the top of the hill, that's what you do. You put your foot on the neck of all your rivals and you stay at the top. It's so refreshing. Now, whether my club are able to do the business and win this title, I don't know. But if we happen to fall short this season and my club decides to spend to get back to the top, I should expect the media to be on mute. I should expect rivals to be like, that's what big clubs do. Let's not hate on Manchester City. Let's not call them an oil club. They're spending because that's what you do to try to win. Now, Liverpool have an amazing summer transfer window. Amazing. And I'm not going to get into the whole what's preventing Newcastle from really staying in a position of strength with PSR and all that stuff. That's for another show. But Liverpool are flexing their heritage on the league, right? There's a reason why they're able to go out and get an Isak from a Newcastle. Both of them in Champions League, but pulling a star player, right? So Liverpool are doing it in a very different manner and fashion that we haven't seen. When there was a lot of talk about how City were doing their thing, it wasn't like this. When City were spending, it was not like this. When we broke a transfer record or release clause, 100 mil, you know that summer we only bought Jack Grealish? We spent 100 mil, yeah, madness, crazy, broke a record, but it was one player. You look at what Liverpool are doing, and they're going out and getting Ekitike. They're going out and possibly they've already addressed that, and they're going out and get Isak. And it's unfortunate. And rest in peace, prayers, love to Jota and obviously his brother. But that passing has obviously made Liverpool to have to spend differently as well, right? They were going to have to address for the loss of that player, and they're doing that. So I can't hate, but the only thing that I do find interesting here is I think the question that needs to be answered here is like, how do all these signings work? Right? We saw a manager in Slot already have a squad and just had to address some fine-tuning, right? And in hindsight, maybe it exposed on how much Klopp had kind of fallen off because there was no real signing. You're not going to say Chiesa was a difference maker, but you saw a manager come through and turn what was more than enough to win the league, what was more than enough to not finish third behind Arteta and Arsenal. You saw a manager that came through and said, you know what, I'm going to make this work. And now he's got an investment of players. It's going to be interesting to see how he makes all of that work. So I got my eyebrow raised. I'm obviously backing my club to be able to do the business. But with all those new signings, with what Liverpool have been doing, I'm watching, and I'm going to try to stay as close as I can until those last few weeks in the season before I can really do my damage. But right now, it's about staying close. The league is Liverpool's to lose. And if I get a few more signings, then maybe I'll talk with Chess. But I think my business is done. So I'm an underdog this season. I'm an underdog with regards to defending champs.
So pathetic. You've spent more money than Liverpool. Talking about underdog, bro. Have some shame.
What are you talking about?
You have some shame.
Wait.
You've spent more money than Liverpool since January. Talk about some damn underdogs. Can you respect yourself?
Hold on. Whenever a club outspends, I've been outspent by United.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
I've been outspent by United. You think
from January until now,
that he's going to win the league? Money? I've been outspent by my man, my blue brother Lewis. You think Lewis was out there saying that he was going to win the league? No, he was underdogs.
Brother Lewis is not backing on this opinion. Can you just address this? Who spent the most money from January till today?
Oh, I love how you now want to say January till today. Yes, I have.
Wow.
Wow, what?
Chat.
It's technically this year.
The team that spent the most money from January until today is the underdog. But I'm crazy when I call him a gaslighter. There you have it.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask this. Let me ask this.
Lewis wanted an Arsenal fan to claim that he can win the league. You think he's gonna let you get away with we're the underdog? Allow it, bro.
Listen, I can say this is why you're a fraud. This is why this is more deserving for you. Let me get the flame up. Where's the flame?
You don't even have a light.
The blue flame. Listen, the reason why you're a fraud.
I have a bigger lighter. I could go get my big lighter too. That one you can light a stove with.
Let's not do the size thing. You're gonna lose. Now, when it comes down to
no, I'm not. You don't know me like that.
When it comes down to outspending, We don't claim when United have been outspending City, they weren't favorites to win. When Chelsea were outspending, they weren't favorites to win. The fact that I'm outspending you doesn't mean that I'm going to be favorites to win. I'm pointing out that I have confidence in my club winning, but we are not favorites to win this league. When you have defending champs spending at a record level like they are, you're about to go out and break another transfer record and get
record
Isak.
level, but we spent less than you. So how's that record?
Is it, Hussam? Is it about how much you're spending or who you acquire?
So using your logic, you've also spent record.
No, I haven't spent. Have I gone out and broke a transfer record in terms of signing?
Oh, so now it's
Did I sign
breaking
Verts?
transfer records. You know that even
Am I
Sulz
about to
agrees
do that
me.
with Isak? What are you doing
You
here?
know that even Sulz agrees with you.
This pussycat in the tree needs to stop. You need to. That was last season.
They're about to do it twice in a window.
First of all, I told your asses 100 times, go and watch National Geographic because you guys are uneducated. The whole thing with the leopard in the tree is it's not like underdogs. Habibi, when a leopard goes up the tree with a fucking animal, it eats it, and other animals in the jungle can't get there because they can't climb the tree. God.
Anyways, can I
Okay.
ask a genuine question? Yeah, that's not gaslight. How much of City spent and how much of Liverpool spent? Let's add the Isak deal in. Does anyone
What do you
actually
mean?
know?
With
do you
it,
mean?
if you add Isak deal in, I think
Yeah.
you
Let's
spend
say
more,
they've signed
right?
Isak, and let's just say what City have spent, because it doesn't really look like the rumored was much more. So, like, how much does that take Liverpool spending to?
Basically, how much did City spend since January? Hussam, do you know?
I think City has spent 60 million more than us total.
Even with Isak,
Including
or if you
Isak.
sign Isak,
Wait, hold on. You
No,
want to
with
know how much?
Isak we spend more with Isak.
Yeah, that's what I
okay,
was
with
going to say
Isak, it's
too.
one more. Okay.
Yeah, with Isak we've spent more.
Like 60
That's the
million
thing.
more?
Not
would be
much
right.
more, by the way.
No, because if it's 60 million right now, you're looking at spending at least 120. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to
Yeah.
be around 60. Around.
60
Yeah, we've
million.
never seen this before. We've never seen this type of spending before. And Hussam wants me to
Yeah,
talk
but the
like
reason why, you know, even
Boy, oh, mate.
there is a reason why even Arsenal fans aren't calling out the Liverpool spent. Big up to Mo Arsenal. Me and you both know him. We've worked with him on spaces and stuff. He said, bro, Liverpool have earned this transfer window. You get what I'm saying? Because, okay, what's funny? Because we haven't spent money for 4 years. What's funny?
Wait. Did you not
Wait,
get?
what?
Did you not revamp
Okay,
your
guys,
transfer
ha ha
list?
ha ha ha.
Oh
Let's
my
do the ha ha together. Yeah, watch this. Let's all ha ha. I'm gonna show him ha ha because he thinks that I'm joking.
Oh, we were saying we
Watch
want to know how much you spent since January.
Watch this. Yeah? Talk
This
about
guy
some
says he
damn
hasn't
ha-ha.
spent in 4 years.
Watch this.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
laughing at.
Yeah, no problem. Watch this. Watch. You want to play this game, Habibi? I play this game better than anyone else. So, in the 4 years that I'm talking about, where would you think Liverpool are in terms of the spending? Club number what?
No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Not doing that.
No.
'cause it doesn't suit the
Have you
argument.
spent money over the last 4 years? Yes or no? You want to do?
Okay,
Oh, I'm going
chat.
to compare myself now to Chelsea.
Let's
and
all
United.
look at the numbers together. Why
Oh.
should we all sit here and speculate? Let's look at numbers. So, as you can see, I said in the last 4 years.
Just pull
Right?
up what you've spent. Just pull up what you spent each
Okay,
year for the
here we
last
go.
4 years.
1920 to 24-25. Number 1. Lewis.
Right, the Chelsea. Look at
There
the
you go.
income, though. What an
No,
institution.
wait, Lewis. That's beside the point. Number 2, Manchester United.
Oh, look at
Number
our
3,
income. Jeez.
Manchester
Fucking
City.
hell.
Number
Damn.
4, Tottenham Hotspur. Number 5, Arsenal. Now, Liverpool are a big 6 club, right? So they should at least be 6th. Nope. Aston Villa. Surely 7th. Nope. West Ham. Surely 8th. Nope. Newcastle. Surely 9th. Nope. Wolves. Surely 10th. Nope. Brighton. Oh. We're 11th in terms of spend. Oh, that's why Vator can't gaslight Hussam. Because I know all the tactics to beat his ass in an argument. We're 11th.
No.
In the 4-year period that I mentioned, we spent less money
Oh,
than Brighton, West Ham, Wolves, and Aston Villa, and Newcastle before they were even taken over. Forget anything else. I said in the 4 years prior we didn't spend money, right? No problem. Was I proven right? Yes, I was.
The summer of
And
Darwin Núñez, you spent
Arsenal, because I was shouting him out before I was rudely interrupted by the gaslighter. He said Liverpool have earned the right to spend this money. And if you're a true football fan, you know this. We have earned the right to spend this money. If we don't, we haven't spent money like that.
Right,
It's like
ask one
getting
last
mad at
question? Is
Arsenal
that-
for spending 100 million on Declan Rice. Yeah, but they earned that. They earned it.
funny. That's funny.
Arsenal have spent less money in the 4 years that I mentioned than Spurs, than Man United, than Chelsea, than City. So what?
Did those numbers include this spending for this summer, by the way?
No, that's why I said the 4 years prior. But I thought that wasn't my
4
argument,
years,
Sol.
okay.
So don't be unfair, Souls. I said the
No,
4
no,
years
no. I'm
prior.
asking to clarify because I don't know what those numbers included. I'm just making sure that okay. So
You- May I speak for a second?
What's Lewis sharing?
You know what I find? You know what I
The
find?
bomber they were all talking about. Don't really think it's a bomber, but hey.
You know what I find funny is he's going to want to do the grand total over the last 4 years, but they've spent 100 plus one summer when they got Darwin Núñez. They spent 100 plus the summer they got their midfield.
100 plus in the Núñez summer. You're lying again.
Wait, why am I lying?
Because we signed Núñez for 60 million.
No,
We
not
didn't-
just you didn't just buy Núñez that summer. You bought other players. You spent
correct.
over 100
What did
plus
we sign?
million.
Fabio Carvalho. How much Fabio Carvalho cost?
Who's some? I don't know, but I know you spent over 100 million in that
No,
summer.
we did
alone.
not. That's a lie once again.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We
So
spent
trans-
60 on Núñez. Calvin Ramsey was like 5 million, and Fabio Carvalho was like 5-10 million. What are you talking about, bro? Núñez didn't activate any
You got
clause.
Gakpo. You got Gakpo that same summer.
No, we did not. We got him in January. See, now you
then
want to
it-
count
then it-
January
okay,
when it
then it counts in the
applies.
same year. Okay, then you're
Mister,
we're
talking
doing
about
your
some
same
damn
nonsense in
summer,
terms
you
of count.
liar, you've been caught out.
It counts
You
during the
liar.
same year.
You disgrace.
Oh, see,
Last
yeah.
summer, who did Liverpool sign? Federico Chiesa. How much money we made from sales? 80 million. So when I say we earned this summer, I ain't lying. We did earn this summer. Thank you,
Hussam,
Sol. See, this
Hussam,
is being
last
objective.
summer, the summer you bought Chiesa, I bought Savinho, and I got Gundogan on a free. We can play that game. I earned the right to spend in the
Yeah, but-
January transfer
yeah, but
window.
Vator, no one's stopping you from spending.
No, and I'm not stopping him either. But he's trying to move like he hasn't been spending. He's trying to move like he's earned the right. Clubs have earned the right to spend. Lewis brought up the point of all of his revenue, all the players being sold. He's justified in how he wants to spend. When he spends a Billy, he's almost selling a Billy as well. When I've got my academy doing what it's doing, and I'm selling the way I'm selling, I should be able to spend what. But it wasn't talked that way, Souls. It wasn't talked about.
I get
City
what you're
earned the right to spend. That's what I find hilarious. That's what I find funny. So
No, I get it because you're saying that because obviously when you guys were in that title race and when you guys were competing with each other, obviously you got critiqued majorly for spending
heavily.
the amount of money that
We
you
were an
were
oil
spending.
club. We were
Oil
plastic.
club,
We were
all of that.
fake.
Yeah, I get it. Now it's obviously but I guess
Now it's what big clubs do.
No, absolutely. Like I don't even think I've got no problem with what City do. I don't even. I think the 115 charges is a bullshit thing. Like
I respect
if they
that.
dropped
Souls.
it, they dropped it. I don't really care. You compete.
You're a real one.
I think they dropped it, yeah.
It is what it is, right? But the thing is, what I think the difference between City and Liverpool is this is the first time we've seen Liverpool do something like this. Whereas with City, I mean,
No,
I
but
can be
Souls,
corrected.
hold on. I hear
You
that
don't know.
point. I hear that point. This is the first time that Liverpool are spending like this. But when I brought up, and again, I don't know the club like Hussam does, to say that Gakpo was signed in January, okay, I look at transfer market and it shows what they spent in the year, right? So the fact that they spend 100 mil plus 1 year, then the 100 mil plus again, they address their attack, they address their midfield, they took a year off. I get that. But they're spending like we've never seen before because they went out and did a record for Wirtz, and they're rumored to go out and get a record for Isak. We haven't seen this, guys. So
Are Liverpool sponsored by FSG Airlines?
what's the point of that?
Etihad,
What's the point of that? You see
Anyway,
how
so
this
stay
guy's a
on
fraud.
club,
You see how this
stay
guy's a
on
fraud.
club, this and that.
Okay,
all
but you know what the difference? Like, okay, so the reason why Liverpool are able to spend the amount that they do, because like I also do like to look at financials, and I'm not saying you guys haven't done this, but they've just got the Adidas deal, which has got, I think it's around £1 billion deal or something. It's like a very lucrative deal, which is allowing them.
We just signed the
Yeah,
first,
no, absolutely. I'm
the
not saying
largest sponsorship
I'm
deal
not saying you
with
guys
Puma.
can't.
But yeah,
I'm just saying like the reasons why they're able to do this as well. And it's not about, I don't think it's about earning the rights. I feel like the dominoes have fell for them this summer, where a lot of the like the financial cycles and stuff like that have fallen at the right time for them. And it's absolute. They're absolutely right in terms of defending their club and doing what they're doing. But for me, it's like the Adidas deal came in, and PSR cycle has changed. Well, not changed. Sorry, it's renewed after the 3 years that you have to kind of be sustainable for. Obviously, they've sold well in the past as well. They're looking at the moment. The reason why it looks worse for them is because those players haven't sold. Like Darwin Núñez isn't confirmed yet. Like Harvey Elliott seems to be a high fee player that's going to be going out, and there seems to be a few others that might. But
yeah,
and obviously they've gotten Trent off the books as well. So I feel like that's why they've. But they might be smoking that load a bit too early though, because that will mean this is going to have a knock-on effect. If this doesn't work, how much more are they going to be able to spend next summer, the summer after? Are they going to show this level of ambition continuing, and is that going to be a hamper for them? Because if this fails, how much are they going to spend to rectify it?
Yeah. There's a lot of what ifs, but all I was addressing is the confidence that I have in my club is based off of what we've been able to do and the season that we had last season. Liverpool, from a position of strength, went out and they're doing some record buying right now. So when I say that it's their league to lose, I think that's realistic. Now, I'm not saying that the league's over. I'm not saying that I don't want to see my club compete. I'm not saying that I don't think that my club can do it. But I, for the first time, feel that I'm doing this from an underdog position. Past seasons, everyone was quick to say it's City are favorites. Could Arsenal challenge them? Could Liverpool? That's very different from what I'm seeing this year around. And Hussam doesn't like it. He does every year. He's got to be the underdog.
The chat has spoken. Hussam checkmated them. Rivals are shameless and scared. I like to checkmate you, Vator, because you
what
think
was the checkmate?
You think you can gaslight the audience? You can't.
What was the checkmate?
With me here, you need to understand I'm fire extinguisher. I extinguish your bullshit directly. Because you just sit here and you just bullshit, talk about some dumb underdog guys. Pep Guardiola's underdog, even though he spent more money than us from January until today. Remember, he wanted to count Gakpo, right? So let's go January until today. That's just the Vator special right there. He got me getting cooked.
Once you spend more than the other club, you're then favorites. Okay, all right.
That's not what I said. Vator crying about Twitter comments from years ago. Yeah, bro, like just. Oh my God, 4 years ago, you told me this. You told me
this
that,
guy was talking like this last season. What are we doing here? You guys
with us buying Federico Chiesa, I wasn't considered an underdog. Okay, let's ask the rest of the panel. Shik, out of the three that were capable of winning the league, who was underdog last year?
Last year,
yes, when the season first started.
Underdog, you guys probably.
Thank you, Lewis. Who was the underdog?
Last season. Oh yeah, you lot.
No one's doubting that.
Sulz, who was the underdog?
You weren't even underdogs. I actually think everyone wrote you guys off.
Well,
if we're being honest, you weren't even underdogs.
here?
Like, if we're being absolutely honest, they weren't even underdogs. No one.
Yeah,
actually,
what are we doing here? No one...
if we're being real, like, okay, let me not say everyone, right?
No, but I think what he means is like City and Arsenal were highly predicted.
At the start of the season, Sulz, at the start of the season.
You're finished. You're finished. You're finished. Wallahi, you're finished. Wallahi, you're finished.
Sulz, you're absolutely right. And the thing that's funny is he wants to point the finger at me when himself, Don Hussam, a Liverpool fan, didn't expect his own team to win it. He had his team an underdog. So what are we doing here? Who are we calling out?
I think underdog is the wrong word, though. I think it's
that was his own words.
Third favorites. That's what it is. Everyone mostly predicted Arsenal and Man City.
Hussam himself didn't have his own team winning the league, and then he wants to talk about where did you guys have Liverpool?
Hence the
point. Okay, hence the point. So when myself, before a ball's being kicked right now, I'm saying that City are underdogs. What are we doing here?
Anyway, let's just get back to the summer. Sulz, what do you think of Liverpool's summer so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been magnificent. Like, you can't sit here and hate on it, like, because at the end of the day, you guys haven't just addressed your problems. You brought in superstars to do that. Like now, obviously, you can talk about concerns of certain players. Like, is Frimpong going to be, someone who can really do what Trent's doing and kind of bring that dynamic? Because like I know people are going to say no, but defensively he's better. But he is not that great defensively, for being real. He's more of a wing back, right winger, and that's kind of how a lot of people have identified him. Kirkes, obviously, we'll see how he translates. Obviously, coming from Bournemouth, he's not played at the sort of big boy table yet. So we'll see if he can, come from that pressure, because the way Liverpool have moved, and I think this is going to be interesting to see from Slot as well. And I'm not saying you can't handle this, by the way, but there's going to be all of the eyes are on them because of the way you guys have spent and the ferocity in how you spent. Like, it's the Isak, the words, obviously Frimpong and Kirkes weren't like major like money deals, but it's the 2 record-breaking signings in a single summer and the ambition that you guys are showing. And then obviously even Ekitike cost a decent amount, like, talking 69, 70 million.
And Sulz, they didn't sell to buy. They just bought.
Sulz, please. Keep disrespecting Sulz.
I'm adding to his point. They didn't sell to buy. This is not a Coutinho type summer.
No, absolutely.
Actually, we're about to sell Elliot to Leipzig. We just sold Tyler Morton for 15 million. I have no idea how. Yeah. We're going to sell Darwin Núñez for a chunk of money. We sold Luis Diaz for 81 million euros, my brother. Big up.
No, but like the point that I'm making is like, obviously the eyes are on Liverpool, and rightly so, because you guys have done an unprecedented thing. Like, we have to also be honest, like, it's not really common for you guys to go get Ekitike for 70 million and then go, do you know what? Let's go spend another 100 and whatever million on the same position. Now, you may have different plans for the player when they come in. One could be playing left wing, whatever. But at the end of the day, the eyes and the pressure, and I feel like this is and correct me if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, this is the first time Liverpool are outright favourites to win the league. There are no underdogs. There's no they can.
Of course, you guys are both talking with Isak joining, right?
Absolutely. I think, yeah. Like, obviously, Isak makes you outright favorite, like complete favorites. I think right now you still edge favorites. Like, forget me as an individual and Vator as an individual. But like, if we're talking like bookies or if we're talking general fan bases, you guys are the favorites. Obviously, you're outright favorites with Isak. So the pressure hasn't, in my opinion, has never been this much with Liverpool. And I'm interested to see how they handle it. And I'm not saying you can't. I'm just intrigued.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting season. I mean, there was a drop in viewership last season, but I think with how they've spent with the interest to see whether this will be Liverpool's back-to-back season, I think the viewership will be back up in terms of wanting to see what the storyline's all about. But when I'm speaking, I'm not hating on what Liverpool are doing. I'm not hating on that. I'm hating on how it's not spoken the same way, and the fact that it's not spoken this way. I would hope that the energy remains the same moving forward. When we see other clubs spending like this.
Yes, we are going to win the league. Don't worry. I'm not doing any underdog gimmick, nothing. But I just want to see Isak. That's it. And I think Isak will be a Liverpool player anyway. And
wait,
Shik is going to cry this season because number 21.
If Isak doesn't come,
I need Ferguson to be there.
Wait, are you not playing favorites without Isak?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like I said, look, the Isak. Let's not all. Can everyone stop acting, please? The Isak signing, it puts you above and beyond. Does everyone here agree?
No. Okay, yes. Ignore that.
Before Isak.
Without Isak, we're favorite, but slight favorite.
Okay,
right,
yeah.
Okay,
like final day.
Wait. Are we going to sit up here and undermine what Isak brings to the team? Is everyone going to
No, but you're favorite regardless.
Yeah, Habibi, okay, but there is difference between,
like final day favorites, winning by 1 point.
Let me tell you numbers. Let me make it easy for you guys' numbers. I think us signing Isak puts us at 70 to 80% likely to win the league. Fair? So that's massive. Vator, when someone's 80% likely to win something, do you understand that's like massive favorites?
Yeah,
why are you laughing like I said?
Maybe with Isak,
do you understand that Celtic are 80% likely to win the Scottish League?
One second. If you can do this for me, Hussam, if you can, if time permits.
Tell me.
The previous seasons, right? So the previous seasons,
no one had an 80% chance, except 17-18 City. That's the only one where I'd say it was like 80% because no one really could compete with you.
Yeah, but at the start of the season, you think people were saying 70-80%?
Yeah, because even Liverpool weren't there yet. That year was the year where you finished fourth. Your competition was Jose Mourinho, Man United. That's where I would say like
Yeah,
you were-
that season you can say
Damn
that.
near
yeah,
20
that season
points
I could
above
say
us.
that.
Before a
But
ball's
since
kicked,
then-
you guys. Okay. But
Yeah,
since
see, I'm
then,
being
But
very
that's a
honest.
long time ago. Yeah.
I'm being very
Alright.
honest. Okay, without Isak, I think it's 40 Liverpool, 30 Arsenal, okay, 20 City, and 10 Chelsea. That's without Isak. With Isak, because he's such a monumental player, and because you're talking about the Salah Isak Verts connection, I think that pushes it up to 80%. So I'm being very honest. I actually doubled our
I
chances.
think
It's not
that's
crazy
fair
to
enough.
say. That's not
Yeah,
crazy.
Thank
to
you,
say.
Soul. See,
Okay.
why you gaslight all
Yeah,
the time?
that's not crazy to say.
Okay,
Yeah, I
but-
said 70 to 80 with Isak. Without him, 40,
Sheik-
but still favorite.
I kind of agree with that because
Yeah.
I do think there's slight favourites without Isak, and I
So
do think
Souls, hear me out. Sheik, hear me out. So when man said Arsenal 30%, City 20%, and early in the conversation when I'm saying I'm seeing City as underdogs, why is he making up his face? Why is he talking to the chat like I'm gaslighting when he has me third favorites at 20%? And he wants to bring up
you're right there. You are right there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this guy's all over the place. That's all I want to address.
No.
Okay,
How am I
no,
over-
that
all
makes
over
sense
the
to why you're upset. Okay, I get
How,
it.
how am I all over the place? There's nothing that I said that's all over the place. I think I made it completely clear.
No, but
The
you're
signing of
but
Isak
Hassam,
takes us
you
above
are,
and
you're now
beyond.
gaslighting in a way because, like, what you're saying is like when Vator's saying at this moment in time they are the underdogs, which they are, because the business that Arsenal and Liverpool have done has addressed monumental.
No, suppose but what was his reasoning? Money spent. You spent more than me, Habibi, so you
Right,
can't
okay,
say
okay.
that. You see why he's the gaslighter now?
Because
No, I think things can.
And by the way, can we
coincide
take
and-
all a step back? If our logic is money, Chelsea should be favorites then.
no one's saying
What are we doing here?
no one's saying money
No,
makes
let's
you
talk
favorite.
about net spend. Let's talk about net spend.
Okay, Mo. Okay, Mo.
I'm glad you got
Talk
the
about
reference.
net spend. That was one of the most clipped up moments on AFTV right there. So
Well,
yeah,
good
that's
time.
the thing. Look, with Isak, of course, it's a different debate, Habibi. It's different. But anyway, let me just grab these supers and I'm gonna wrap up the stream. Big up to my guy Joe Green who says balance stakes from bottom row. Yes, here balance stakes from bottom row. I agree. The other one, he gets
No,
me.
this,
Maybe not
this is
so
the
balanced.
entire bottom row. Don't do that.
Maybe
Be
maybe not so
respectful.
balanced.
We're both bottom row. Show some
Yeah,
respect. Make me large screen.
Can I send you a message from Yardman?
Make me large screen. What are you doing here?
Let I tell you something, you fucking American, get the fuck out my club and go back to fucking America.
He's Canadian. He's not American. He's Canadian.
Hey, I couldn't AI edit it to say Canadian in it, so North American continent. Innit?
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Big up to Marcus who says Vator City on 4 of the last 5 Premier League titles, about to spend 300 million in a calendar year with the best manager in history. Why aren't you favorites?
Well, I'm not favorites because I'm not increasing my team with the best German midfielder with a record signing. I'm also not getting arguably the best striker from last season with a record signing in Isak. I'm not in that position of strengthening. That's why I'm not favorites. You saw how disaster my season was. And yes, I've spent, but did I match the quality of what Liverpool have and had? Come on, guys. If we're going to have balanced conversations like the bottom row was having, me and Souls, then let's be balanced here, right? If it was purely based off of spend, then the top spender would win the league. Oh, now he's switching the bottom row. You fraud.
It's like saying, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't get a McLaren. I wanted a Lamborghini instead."
Yeah.
No, it's not even
That's
close.
that's the thing. You see, that's why I'm talking about my personal opinion in terms of chances. But if you're gonna call City underdog, football is done, bro. Football is
Hold on,
done.
hold on. Did you ever call Liverpool
The word
underdog?
underdog and City is that you wanna know who's underdog?
You're an institution, you bum.
Chelsea are underdog. Yeah,
You got
No.
20 league titles and you want to talk about
Chelsea are
City.
like dark
City
horse.
can't be underdogs. How can Liverpool be underdogs?
So using your logic, Man United should be favorites because they won 20, 30 of
Now
them
he's
modern
switching the
era.
combo again.
Yep, 3-0. Guys, I have destroyed every single one of his arguments. I'll be honest with you. This is like 4-0 Hussam in the chat. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, he has been complete. That's the great thing about me working with Vator. He can't gaslight me. He gets me? That's the thing. He can't. He got really upset when Hamza removed him from the space, but yeah. Anyway, Big up to all of you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, go subscribe to Vator
Mr.
Games
Hamza's
TV,
never-
Shik TV,
never
Kerfy, Louis
removed
G,
space.
Gunnar Souls. Subscribe to all these guys' channels. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for liking. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Big up every single super chatter. I'm back tomorrow, inshallah, at 4:30 because Arsenal play at 6. So I'm gonna be back at 4:30 with Ashraf and the boys, and I'm back at 11 p.m. UK time. From the ones live, let's redirect you over to Jamie Phillips. He's doing an LFC panel show. Go tell him Hussam Raid in the chat. I'll be telling Hussam Raid as well. Love you all, and yeah. Will there be football in low gravity on Mars? Why would you play football on Mars, Joe Green?
That would be hilarious.
No, we're going there. We've already conquered everything here. We need a new planet.
Yeah. God. Hussam Raid in the Jamie chat. Peace out.